The purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to use MailMerge in order to create your student login password cards. Step number one is that you are going to go to portal.cusd.com, and then you'll need to log in using your teacher username and password. The same username and password you use to get into your computer is the same information you would use in order to sign into this. Then you would click on the green button that says Show All My Students. For security purposes, I'm not going to click on this button right now because it would reveal private confidential student information. Once all of your students are on display, up over here you're going to see a green button that says Excel. If you click on the button that says Excel, then you're going to have a file that's going to download in the bottom portion of your screen. Once you click on that file and it has fully downloaded, then you're going to open up that Excel document. It'll look somewhat like this. The only difference is that all of your information is going to be squished together. So when you open it for the very first time, all the information is going to be squished over here. In order for me to see that information clearly, I click on A and then I hold the left button down. I slide all the way over here and then I let go. So I'm selecting all of these columns at one time. The next thing I do is this little item, what I suppose you would call it the cursor, the item that moves around whenever my mouse is moving. I'm going to bring it over here to the edge of column G, and then I'm going to scoot out just a bit. When I let go, all columns will resize to exactly the size of column G. Columns D and E, in my opinion, need to be just a pinch bigger, so I usually come back and I scoot these guys out just a little bit. You can click on letter A and then leave your left index finger down and then slide over with your mouse and then let go. Your other option is that you can click one time, hold the shift button down, and then come over here to the last letter in the sequence and then let go. And it will select all of those columns at one time. On the edge of that column, I can scoot in if I choose. Now those are just persnickety bits. Up here in column G, I'm going to click one time and I'm going to type in password. It's important that you type password and not passwords when working with this one document that we're going to be working with together, because the word password is on display and it's one of those features that we're going to be pulling from in order for the data to sync successfully. My next step, I'm going to come over here to username, this very first username. Under username, very specific, because for this MailMerge document to function properly, it has to be username right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change each of these usernames so that everything in the username is lowercase. So I'm going to click one time right here. I'm going to press equal. I'm going to type the word lower. I'm going to do an open paren. I'm going to click in this cell one time. I'm going to do a close paren, and then I'm going to press enter. So what I did is I'm pulling this data, and I want everything right here to be lowercase, and you'll notice how it changed those letters for me. I'm going to click in this box one time. I'm going to click in the bottom corner. Now I'm going to hold my index finger down on the mouse, and then I'm going to slide. Whenever I let go, it's going to repopulate this code in the next cell, but it's going to attribute the characteristics that are in the adjacent cell to this box. So this is one way that I can seamlessly change everything in those boxes to lowercase. Because our usernames are not case sensitive for our kindergartners, our first graders, some of our second graders, some of those children are going to benefit from not having to push the shift button down to create an uppercase letter every time they need to type in their username. So this is a time saver as a teacher in the classroom to gain educational minutes. Now, over here where I typed password previously, I'm going to create passwords for each of the children. And you have a variety of different ways to do this. if you want to type in a color, so the spelling of that color, followed by 01, you can easily create a series of passwords in here. I'm going to click on this lower box so that my white plus symbol turns into a black plus symbol. I'm going to click down. I'm going to leave my index finger down. I'm going to slide all the way down, and you'll notice how that white box right there is telling me that that information is going to repopulate and adjust. So it adds 1 to the previous number. So I can continue this process all the way down. That's one way to very quickly create passwords. If you want passwords that are a little bit more specific, Microsoft Excel is intuitive and can apply code for you that will save time. For example, if you want the first letter of the child's first name, the first letter of the child's last name, and then a 2-letter code to represent that school. So like maybe the Riverview Rams, RR for Riverview Rams, or RV for Riverview, or MV for Mountain View, or a 2-letter code of some kind to represent your school. So we've got 2 letters right there. And then maybe your classroom number. Maybe you're in room 21. Now, when I start the process in the next box, nothing will appear immediately, but by the time I get to box 4 or 5, the computer is going to be intuitive and it's going to figure out that code for me. So maybe the Riverview Rams, room 21, and the first letter of the child's first name. See how all of that information just popped in there? The computer system is trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I don't want the letter A, I want the letter B for the last name, RV, and then 21, and then A for the first letter. And look how all of those just instantly populated in there. The computer system was intuitive enough. I figured out your pattern. Let me finish all those boxes for you. When I press enter on the keyboard, absolutely every single one of those codes pop into Spot for me. Now, it's my job to look and examine, did they figure out my code correctly for everybody? For the most part, it looks like it's pretty spot on. So I don't have to go through and type any more information. It's all in there ready to go. I'm going to click on the Save button. It's auto save and it saves all the time, but File, and the Save button is probably missing here. Look at that. I don't need that. Anyway, I'm going to hit Control S just because I'm that type of person that wants to save. So here's the next step. Usernames are on Spot. Student ID numbers are on Spot. Passwords are in order. I'm going to throw this down here. I'm going to bring the document up here. I probably should have done MV for Mountain View because it's the Mountain View Bears on this sample, but it's irrelevant. The core pieces of the video you'll have access to. Up here on your ribbon, you're going to click where it says Mailings. You're going to come to Select Recipients. You're going to use an existing list. You're going to search through your computer to find that document that you were just working on. So Documents, and actually for this recording, I'm in videos followed by screen captures, and then here's the document that I need. So locate the document that you need, double click, then you're going to click the OK button. The next step is to come up here to where it says Finish and Merge. And the only reason why this is working so seamlessly is because I have already formatted this document where it says username, where it says password, where it says next record down here. So you're going to pull from line number 1 or row number 1, and then I want you to pull from row number 2 in that other document. I want you to pull from row number 3, and so on. So next record is important in order to apply this, just in case you want to do this strategy on another document. So I'm going to come up to Finish and Merge. After I click on Finish and Merge, I want to edit individual documents. That's the way that I do it. If you want to just go straight to print, that's fine. Edit gives you the opportunity to type in additional information if needed and to give it a glance over, to look at it just to make sure that it's correct. And I make mistakes, and so that's a tool that I need. All of the documents have been, all the data rather, has been selected. I'm choosing that every person in that document be imported in here. I'm going to click the OK button, And in the blink of an eye, I don't know if you saw that, but username is here, password is here, and you'll notice that it's all lowercase letters. I don't have to go in and type it or fix it or adjust it or change it. And then the student ID number is here. The reason why I put the student ID number on here is when your Sweet Blessings go in and they start off with the default password, then it's located here. Now, for any teacher who wants to come in and type in their Freckle class code, the teacher can go in and turn around and type that into each document if they wish to. Or the other option is they can put Avery labels along here. Once those have printed out, because there's a little bit of space in here, they might need to trim those just a little bit. And if the teacher wants to include other software down here that the children are going to use throughout the year, they can type that information in or put another Avery label for another resource that's needed. And if you run out of room on the front, you have a blank side on the back, and you can go sticker crazy on the back if you want to. So there's my tutorial. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.